Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and today was a great start to 2021. I am super excited to kick this off with a profitable day of trading. Had a lot of fun in the new Discord. I'll talk about that in a second, but really just grateful for you guys for making this the best year yet. Now, there were a ton of stocks that were doing really well today, and I want to talk about what these are and talk about how I traded them today and then what I'm going to be looking for moving forward into tomorrow, because I think that if they're in play today, they're very likely to continue to be in play tomorrow. And if you're prepared beforehand and have a plan going into tomorrow, you're a lot more likely to be able to execute a profitable trade. So that is the whole point of this channel, to make sure you guys profit as much as possible. So I'm going to dive into my laptop, explain these tickers, and talk about why I think you should be watching them for tomorrow. One stock that you absolutely need to be watching tomorrow is ZOM. And this is one that I actually found out about because of the Discord. And again, if you guys haven't heard about it, go watch my previous video on this channel because I talk about the announcement of the Discord and everything that entails. But basically, this is a community where everyone has their eyes and ears peeled on the market to see if there's any plays that we can potentially take advantage of together. And I asked the group right before market close if there were any stocks that have been trending up all day long, holding a nice uptrend and would potentially be good for an overnight long. And shout out to my boy who alerted this in the chat, almost immediately. And there was a ton of buying right into close, and I actually bought this right here at 0.349. And this was a really good call. You can see here, I actually got spooked out because it tanked down to here. And, I didn't think this had after hours because I thought it was an OTC. I was mistaken on that. But because of that, I ended up averaging down with a dip buy, which is normally something I don't do, but then doing that just to manage my risk and getting out at break even. But you can see directly after that, it went on to have a massive 50% spike from that area. And I mean, which it's crazy, man. So, I mean, if you got in at 35 and you were able to hold, I mean, that was a really great play. And this is just one of the many things that we've been talking about in the Discord. So again, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, definitely go. I'll put the link in the description below, but also go check out the previous video on this channel because, again, we're talking about plays like this all day long. I was alerting everything that I was doing pretty much play by play. And it's just exciting, man. It's really cool to have this community. I already like what it's turning into, and I'm excited to see what it can become. But definitely be watching ZOM tomorrow. I have no idea what it can do, but if it's doing this in pre-market, it's definitely going to be making moves, I guess, post-market after hours today. But I mean, if it's doing this, it's definitely be making some moves tomorrow. So again, it could see a spike right at open, or it could see a big panic, which would lead to a good dip buying opportunity. So just look for those two things. Definitely don't chase it because it can fall hard and it can fall fast, and it's already up a lot. But just keep this stock on your watch list. This one also was a really good dip buying opportunity today. Unfortunately, I missed this one, but if you go to the 1 minute chart, I mean, you can see how clean this is. Oh, wow, that broke out. Oh my God, that was a really good close too. So, I mean, this could gap up and then see a morning panic again with another dip buying opportunity. So definitely still be watching this one, but you can see here a little bit of a sell-off, increase in volume there. And then, I mean, just a nice run up, man, from 36 to 44. TAUG also up big today. I talked about this one in one of my previous videos. PMPG down a little bit. TSMP, not really much going on here. I'm assuming, again, once the conference call gets a little closer, it's going to start picking up. That would be my guess if I had to guess. RDAR. This one honestly did not really bounce, man. There was no huge sell-off. It just kind of panicked and then just faded all day long. Disgusting, man. And this is why you don't hold and hope, man. This is why you get out and take your profits when you have them. Because, if you bought this here for the break of 1, it went all the way up to 2, and you could be negative on your position now. You could be 50% down instead of 50% up just because you're not taking your profits. So definitely take your profits when you have them, guys. Again, this market is crazy. It won't last forever, and you never want to take stuff for granted because you don't know when it's going to end. AITX, this was also an incredible dip buying opportunity today. I did trade this one, and I'm pretty sure I got in, but then got spooked out. So I think I dip bought this. If I'm not mistaken, I dip bought this one right here after 25 when it pretty much bounced off of this 25 area after being down a ton. Dip buying panics is a really good risk reward. And then you can see it ran up here. I think I got spooked out in this area. So again, that's why I only took a $15 profit. And this was tiny size, man. You can see the tiny size on this. not even a $300 position. But I mean, if you take larger size on that, that's a $1,500 gain. If you had the balls to hold it longer, this would be up, even more. So these are the types of plays that I really like, and I'm excited to see what continues to happen on this. And yeah, GAXY, I guess that one also was moving today. We had some nice moves. That's a misprint, obviously, but again, a nice panic in the morning and then a nice dip buying opportunity. So just be looking out for that, guys. This is BNGO, and if you remember, I talked to you guys about this stock in one of my previous videos because it was already up a lot, man. It was up from around $1 all the way up to, closing at $3.50. And we had no idea what it was going to do today, but I mean, it really went up after hours, held that up in the morning, and then just continued spiking today, which is insane. I mean, this move is crazy. And I think what happened was there were a lot of short sellers who kept trying to find the top on this thing. So they really expected that, it's up from $1 all the way up to $3.50. There's no way it can keep going higher. And then today it was at $5. They're thinking, all right, it's cracking it open. Let me short right here. But it kept holding those gains very well. It spiked up, it came back down. They thought it was breaking down here. They shorted here, and then it just held up those gains. So it's been very surprising in terms of holding up gains. And we've seen a lot of stocks that are doing that in this market. And that is just, another display of how crazy this market is, because in a typical market, you would not see something that goes this crazy this many days in a row where short sellers are just continually getting squeezed and unable to really find the top on it. So BNGO, at this point, I would assume that if this cracks and the first red day is tomorrow, this is probably going to be over. It might lead to a good dip buying opportunity though, because whenever you get a massive run up, you get a very quick sell-off eventually. And normally when shorts cover their shares, if you guys don't know what that means, basically short sellers sell at the top, and to profit, they have to buy back at some point. And when they all start buying back in, it will have a momentary pop in the price. So it might go from 7 all the way down to 4, but then it could bounce from 4 to 5. And if you take that, what is that, a 20% gain? So 25% gain? I mean, that's a great gain. So just look for that tomorrow. That is what I personally would expect. We could also see this continue to run. I'm not sure, people have underestimated this before, and I don't want to be another person who does that, but definitely excited to see what BNGO is doing. JAGX is another one that was really ripping today. I mean, this thing went absolutely crazy, all the way up to $2.12 in after hours. I mean, it went insane. So I mean, it ripped up here, came back down, and then once it broke through the highs of yesterday, again, this is why support and resistance is so important. If you learn these levels, man, if you buy the breakout here, I mean, this was nice, man. Broke out of $1. $1 is that perfect breakout mark, that whole psychological number that people fixate on. People fixate on that, so there's a lot more sellers there, and there's gonna be a lot more buyers. And you can see it came up through there, tried to crack back down, but so many people were buying at $1 that it couldn't break down under, and it just kept ripping on up and touched $2. So I mean, this was a crazy play, and it was a miracle to watch. I personally did not trade this one, and I wish I'd gotten in, but to me, it felt a little like chasing, and I was watching some other stocks. It would have been good to buy on a pullback, and this is why I always advocate that, because you can see here, if I zoom in just a little bit here, whenever you get a ton of green candles in a row, you almost always get a big sell-off, if that makes sense. So a ton of green candles in a row, a big sell-off. So it's a lot better in terms of risk to reward if you buy after this big sell-off on the first green candle. And you can do that on the 1-minute chart, on the 5-minute chart, whatever you want. But that allows you to manage your risk a lot better. And then you can always cut if it continues to break down below that. But if you just buy this when it's spiking, you could buy, I don't know, right here, and then you end up getting screwed over. So I definitely don't recommend chasing these things, guys. You have to trade with caution because day trading is very risky. And if you don't trade with caution, you're going to end up giving away all of your gains. So that was JAGX. Now, one that I did trade today was kind of a sympathy play for BNGO and JAGX, and it was this one. And you can see, I mean, it was up a ton on the day, over 200% on the day. And why did I trade this one? Well, again, it was a sympathy play, and you can see here, the price action was actually really nice. It was able to hold these levels very well. Let me go in. Let me get a better time frame on this one. Let me go into 3 minutes here. So you can see here, it had a really nice run. And again, this is why you don't chase. It tanked back down, but then it bounced off that and was able to make higher lows. So you can see it never breaks down past this level again. It never breaks down past this level again. And it's basically just going on up. So again, if you buy in a dip here, you're normally looking pretty golden. And it had some nice runs. So back when it was able to come in here, I think I bought in here, and I think I was looking for the high of day break. And then when JAGX broke its high of day, BNGO broke its high of day, I figured this sympathy play would follow, and it absolutely did. And, I made a lot of mistakes on this one. So obviously, you can see I only made $18 on it. Again, I'm trading really small size here. This is all about the setups for me. I'm not trading to make money at this point. I'm trading to get good at trading, and then I will size up, and this to $18 will be $1,800. So again, I'm not worried about the amount of money I'm making. I'm worried about the setups. So definitely this one is going to be making some type of moves tomorrow. So have it on your watch list. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is NCTY. And this one was the other one that I was trading. And I'm actually really proud of how I managed on this one because I messed it up earlier in the day, which could have ruined my psychology on it. So I guess let me show you 2 days real quick just so you guys can see. So this is what the 2-day chart looks like. I mean, absolutely nothing down here in the 350 area. And then it just goes absolutely insane in pre-market, spikes up, I guess this is pre-market, spikes up crazy high, comes back down. And normally this is what I like to see when I'm looking for the U-shaped pattern, but I would want to see it tank more. See like a 50% pullback off. That'd be nice. So if it tanked from, 977 all the way down to, call it $6 right away, that would have been nice. But it tries to bounce here and then fails a little bit more, which to me kind of ruined the U-shaped pattern. So this is why I wasn't super excited about it here. But when it was able to tank down and then spike past that and really get up into this area, I figured it could break out and at least test this resistance here. So I was long it here, and I made a big mistake here. I ended up having risk that was too tight, and that is the biggest mistake that I make. So if you get in a play like that, you can see, it's pretty choppy. So you can't expect to buy in and never have it go below where you are in the trade, if that makes sense. So if you're buying in, you need to have predefined risk that's based off the chart levels that gives you wiggle room so you won't get stopped out. Because again, if you buy in, what is this? If you buy in at $6 here and you're saying, I'm selling this if it breaks down under 590, like that, 10 cents is not enough room on a stock like this to let yourself stay in the play and let it develop. And that's a mistake that I make a lot because I'm scared of letting my gains go against me. I'm scared of having big losses. So I cut losses too quickly. Some people hold their losses and they balloon into massive percentage losses. I'm not like that. I'm the exact opposite. I am so scared of losses because, again, I know what it's like to have nothing, that I am always cutting my losses way too soon. So something that I'm trying to get better at is leaving enough room and not cutting unless it gets to my predefined risk level. And that is something that I was able to do here. Because I wish Fidelity had VWAP on the chart, but that's variable weighted average price. And this is a statistic. It's like a moving average, just like the exponential moving average, all those things. But a lot of day traders use the VWAP to base their trades off of. So if you're long and it's above the VWAP, and then it comes back down, but it's able to bounce off the VWAP, that is a really good entry point as a long. And same thing if you're short, if it's below the VWAP and pops back up to the VWAP and then breaks down again, like right there at the VWAP is where you're gonna wanna short most of the time. So if you're on the long bias perspective, like I am, because I can't short my Roth IRA, I am always looking to dip buy on that VWAP. And in this case, I was able to get a dip buy right around the VWAP, and I was able to hold through a lot of these ups and downs because I was actually able to risk off the VWAP, saying if it breaks the VWAP, I'm going to cut, but if it doesn't hit the VWAP, I'm not going to cut 10 cents before trying to predict that it's going to break the VWAP. And in this case, it went down, I think to where I probably would have been cutting earlier in the day if I had, not been very strict with my risk rules. And in this case, that was a good thing because my risk was perfect. My idea of what the chart was going to do was absolutely perfect, and I didn't get stopped out in the afternoon like I did in the morning. And I ended up making a nice little profit that was able to make up for my loss in the morning. So this is actually, this should be a lot bigger, but I had a loss in the morning, and then I also didn't time the top perfectly. But you can see here, like the overall market was down over 2% at one point today. The Dow cracked 30 1,000 at one point today. So, you know, when the market is overall like this, you have to be more conservative because spikes are more likely in general to fail and dip buys are more likely in general to keep cracking. So if you're dip buying something and it cracks past the place where you were dip buying and it cracks past key support levels, make sure you get out, especially on days like today. You can see here, like, it was never able to make it past the pre-market highs, and then it was never able to make it past these highs, and then it just kept making lower and lower highs. And, you know, because of that, I sold, and I got out, I think, somewhere in here. So, I mean, I took my measly $15 profits, but, you know, we'll take it, man. We'll take it. We will absolutely take it. Alrighty guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to smash that thumbs up if you have not already. I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to check out the Discord as well. And yeah, let's grow better together.
Besar tu boca si te despiertas, mi tiempo también es tuyo porque me inspiras. Solo quiero que seas la única que así me mira.